The 3D crayfish. So real, it will amaze you.
Hey folks, let me show you how to rig up the 3D crayfish. We got 3 different base accessories for the crayfish. We got an extreme wide gape hook with a corkscrew. We got a stand-up jig head. And we got this stealth spike. So for the extreme wide gape hook with a corkscrew, it's really simple. All you have to do is just take your crayfish and screw that on right in the center of the tail. And that's a very, very common way to rig up these soft lures with an extreme wide gape hook. So just like that, you can see, make sure that it comes off the center of the base of the tail, like so. Then you take your crayfish and you put the hook like that up through the chest, and you have it coming up on the back side like that. If you're fishing in cover, it's a good idea to just pinch down the hook like so. So the hook tip is just hidden in the skin here. If you're fishing a little bit more open, especially for pike and other fish, don't bite as hard as the bass. It's a good idea to leave the hook tip exposed like that. So that's how you rig it up on the extreme wide gape hook with a corkscrew. Very, very simple. Second way, on the stand-up jig head, you can see here, you want to have that tail come up and cover, so the hook must come up just under the hook shield. So again, it's a good thing to try to hook it in the center of the tail part like that, and let the hook tip come out just before the back shield like so. Just take the soft lure and come up like so. So that's perfectly rigged up with the stand-up jig head right there. Then the last one is the stealth spike, and the stealth spike is like this wire frame here. The wire frame you punch in just under the chest there, you'll punch it through, and it comes out all the way out in the nose of the crayfish. You have to push it through like that, so it sticks out right there. Then that little spike here, you punch that into the tail section right in the middle, so that you actually create this like an airplane, like a plane that will slide away from you. Then you take your little hook, it comes together with a spike, and you actually run that through the nose and the little metal bow. This way you cannot pull the bait off. You can see the metal bow is sticking out right there, so you take the hook through here, and then you just tie your line on to that hook like so.
By scanning a real crayfish and combining it with careful study of the movement and escape pattern of the real thing, Savage Gear has been able to create a crayfish that look and swim as real as possible, irresistible to even the wariest predator fish. Air-filled claws will not only aid in natural underwater movement when the craw is rigged forward, but also give a defensive posture when the craw is fished on a stand-up jig head, and will make micro movements even at the tiniest movement and water current. The air-filled head cavity makes the craw float, so it can be fished on a weighted weedless hook, over heavy mats and lily pads, and then paused in openings for a slow, enticing fall into the strike zone, just like the real thing.